Hello, my lovelies. So, I've been trying to keep my channels very clean, very happy-go-lucky, very, positive energy type of thing, because I didn't want to get involved in any politics or the way that things are headed right now. I didn't want to put my family at risk because of the political climate and where our country is headed. But I am so tired of being silent. When I am not a silent person, I am a passionate person, and I am very passionate about this. So let me tell you exactly what I've been holding back. 62 fucking million? In the state of Mississippi, you can be sold to a person by your fucking parents as a minor. And you cannot leave that relationship until you are 18 because they are considered your fucking guardian. That is not just Mississippi. That is several states in the United States. And yet everybody acts like this is the most wonderful fucking country in the world. It ain't. This is not a first world country. It's a third world country where women are treated less than fucking human. As a survivor of fucking abuse, I know. I was treated as less than human. My children were stolen from me by the state of Oklahoma because my husband was abusive and they gave me no opportunity to leave him. They were taken from me, and then I was the one accused of keeping them in that environment while they were telling me to leave him with giving me no reason to do so and no opportunity to do so. They didn't give me any place to go. They didn't give me any resources. They just blamed me. That man took me when I was 19 years old and didn't have any securities in myself at all. He raped me repeatedly. He stole my sanity. He took everything from me, my family, everything. Isolated me. Wouldn't even let me work, despite the fact that he couldn't keep a job for longer than 2.5 months. Every time I tried to get a job, he would harass me at that job until either they fired me or I had to quit. He made sure I stayed fucking pregnant. By any means necessary. That's right. And every time I called the cops on him, they brushed me off and said that it was my choice. The first time he left me hurt with a dislocated jaw, knots on my head because he just would not stop pummeling my face and my head. The cops said that they would come. That they would call me for my statement within a week. Do you know what happened after that week in Oklahoma City? I called them and they said the state dropped the charges. That's what happened before they took my kids. They don't want to help us, ladies. Where's the fucking rage? Where's the rage? They do not care about us. We are less than human in this country as women. What, because we're allowed to flaunt our bodies out in public, that makes us have more rights? No, it doesn't. It just gives them the right to say, hey, it's what she's wearing. Do you realize that they train men here in this country to rape women, and they do nothing about it? They train them and teach them how to get away with it. Because our system is broken. Do you know how many backed rape kits are in those police stations getting moldy and shit? They'll never see justice. They'll never see the light of day. They will never get tested because there's no funding for it. Oh, there's no funding for it, right? But you can show up at a person's house and spend all of that fucking money because they're feeling suicidal. So you're going to make sure to go up there and harass that family, but you don't have the money to test rape kits. Really? I'm going to call bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit on the fact that almost every single chief of a police station is a man. They decide where that fucking money goes. They decide. And they have decided that we are not worth the money or the time for them to actually give a shit about us, or the fact that we are there are predators stalking us every time we walk out the fucking door. If you decide to have a little girl in this life, you have to realize that you are setting her up to live in a world that literally treats her like prey. I want to know where all the rage is. Because I kept it inside too. I did. I kept it inside. I didn't want to put my family in the middle of all this. But who's going to fight for my daughter if I don't? Who's going to fight for my girls if we don't? I am a married woman. But I regret that all the fucking time. I do. And not because I don't love my husband, but because society has put it on us that if you're married, you basically have zero rights outside of your fucking husband. He can decide if you're on a bank account. He can decide if he wants you to sign on something or whether his name is going to be on everything. He gets to decide that shit. Because you're home with the kids. Who's going to take care of your kids if you don't stay home with them? They set us up for this. They set up our society and our systems to where we have no choice but to stand aside and let somebody else take control of our life. If you decide not to get married but decide to have kids with your partner and want to stay home with those kids, well, guess what? You guys have to get married to get his insurance. I'm sorry, what? They force us into these situations. We don't have much of a choice, do we? We can take jobs that pay half as much as the male counterparts of our job. We can decide to let everybody walk all over us and sexually harass us every fucking day at those jobs just to get a fucking paycheck. And men will never fucking understand what it's like just to walk to your fucking car by yourself outside of a goddamn grocery store hoping that nobody's watching. This is our lives. Our lives. And you wonder why every fucking woman is on edge and neurotic? Our system makes it that way. We don't have a choice but to be passionate, but to be neurotic, but to be tense all the fucking time. Men put us in a place to protect ourselves. And yet we still reach out for a partner because that's what we want. Deep down, we want a partner. But we don't get that because our society forces us into a situation where we have to be both the masculine and the feminine. And the men sit around being lazy as fuck, being able to fall asleep within 2 seconds when we can't because our anxiety is through the fucking roof because we're women. Where is the rage? Where is the uprising? Where is everybody? I have 2 autistic kids at home. one speaks in echolalia, and one is nonverbal. One's level 2 and one's level 3. My time is mostly spent right here. And I can't leave, but you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start making these videos. I'm going to start spreading the truth about everything that goes on in the United States that's bullshit. I am tired of keeping my mouth closed and my eyes down to the ground. You think this is any different from a third world country where they have to keep their whole fucking body covered? It's not. It's the same. We are treated as less than human, and there needs to be a change. We need change, ladies. My lovelies, it is time to stand up, and I stand with you.